everybody. So today's Monday and that means it's time for family movie night, and this week we are going to be talking about the 1990 film Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in honor of the recent release of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows, which you can see my review. I'll put a link down in the description section of that film. I had fun with that film. I don't think it's terrible. I think it's actually better than the first one, but it's still not good. It's certainly not good as this film, that's for sure. And so let's talk about what I think makes this film by far the best Ninja Turtles film and a very, very, very good comic book movie in its own right. So the things this film does right is that it combines the origin story with a compelling, actually kind of mystery type story of what's going on with the Foot Clan, who Shredder is, what's going to happen with the Turtles, and you also get the introduction to who the Turtles are and who Splinter is, who that never really is done in most of the other versions that I've seen. You don't get the introduction to Splinter. And so I like the fact that it just, you don't feel like you're going through the motions. It's not an origin story in the sense of seeing them starting out as just regular turtles and then going through them till they become who they are. They start out as the characters that they are, and then you get a little bit of exposition with April about how they became who they became. And then you also get a little bit of explanation with Splinter and who his master was and how that relates to Shredder. Things I really like about this film is it's one of the only ones that I've seen where Splinter is a martial arts master. He's the one that teaches the Turtles all that they know. So it makes sense that he's the one that is the best out of all five of them. He's the master. And in these Michael Bay produced films, he's just an afterthought. He's hardly there. He's there to just meditate, and that's about it. And so I think that's a real missed opportunity as far as the action, and also a really cool, kind of interesting character. And like he's a giant rat, but he's like this awesome fighter. It's just kind of creative and different, and you could take advantage of that, and they do in this film. And so you have Shredder and his Foot Clan. In this movie, Shredder is really interesting because he's kind of more of like a mob boss. He has all these teenagers that he's like kind of manipulating and brainwashing and using them to do sort of his dirty work. And he's also, strong in the fight scenes and the action and everything like that. Also really, really manipulative with his words and the way that he's able to convince people to do what he wants to do. And that is totally lost on most other versions of Ninja Turtles. Shredder is just this big bad meanie. And here he's a lot more like convincing. You see why people want to follow him. You see why he has power. And they're also one of the only ones that gets his suit right and gets it. You feel this sort of intimidation. But this Ninja Turtles movie also has sort of the fun of the cartoon, of the 80s cartoon, where you get this fun banter between the brothers, and you see them joking over pizza and how hot April is and different things like that. And so it never feels, I don't think, heavy-handed, overbearing, pleasant characters to be with and around. And yet you do see that dynamic between four brothers, and they each have their own personalities. Raphael in particular, who is frustrated. He wants sort of more freedom. He has the most conflict with the other brothers. But I don't know, I think it feels legitimate. I think it feels real. And of course then you have April, who is, I think, good. It's played by Judith Hoag. And I think she's charming in this. I think she's feels like sort of the girl next door kind of version of April. And there are definitely some tense moments. There's some action that might be a little much maybe for some kids. There's some dark moments, but I feel like it's never lasts that long. And so you never feel that sort of overbearing of it. It's not like The Dark Knight or something like that, where it's very, very, very dark for long stretches of time. And so, I don't know, I just feel like it has that balance of tone really, really well. And, you know, it'll make you laugh a little bit. You'll be charmed by the characters, but then you also will enjoy the action and the mystery that kind of is part of the story. And you also have Casey Jones appear, and he actually has the mask, unlike this most recent one, for a lot of his scenes. He's played by Elias Koteas, and he is so charming and also tough and very convincing, I think, in his scenes. And I think that it is somewhat unpredictable in what happens to the turtles, and they don't always win. In fact, they lose a lot of the time. And so that creates tension and makes it exciting, and it makes it engaging to watch. And I don't know, I just think this is a movie that the whole family can enjoy together pretty much, maybe very, very small children. But for the most part, I think it's a family movie that is got good action, good humor, and some good characters. And then you've got the amazing puppetry by Jim Henson. The way that they're able to get the mouths to move, the way that they are, especially with some of the fast talking dialogue of some of the characters, is incredible. It's seamless. It looks so good. And I think that it looks better. I wish that they did more of this sort of real look to it than the CG look in the current one. And it also has real moments of emotion, particularly between Splinter and the boys, you know, that he really loves them. These are his sons, and he says that in a certain scene, and you feel it. And so I think it's pretty impressive that they're able to create that kind of emotion with characters that are giant turtles and a giant rat. But they successfully do. If I was going to say some negatives about it, I would say the Danny character is just kind of a generic whiny 90s teen kind of character. But he's fine. I don't hate it. Overall, I just think it's really entertaining, good movie. So let me know what you think of this movie, you think of this Ninja Turtles movie. Put in the comments section, and thanks so much. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.